Good evening, sports card fans. Beantown 62 coming at you live from Abilene, Texas, where we have ourselves a really wicked, awesome one-card mail day. And the one-card mail day has to do with Beantown's Red Sox Hall of Fame ink collection that he is working on. So we're going to do a quick recap of the Hall of Fame autographs that Beantown has acquired to date. And with that, we're going to start with the oldest autographs and work our way to the most recent autographs that we have acquired. And we're going to do one little history lesson along the way. But our first and oldest autograph that we have on hand right now is Mr. Rick Ferrell. We have this nice leaf cut signature of Rick Ferrell. And Rick Ferrell played for the Red Sox from 1934 to 1937. He had an 18-year major league career, was never an MVP, and of course not a Cy Young because there was no Cy Young back in 1934. He was a 7-time All-Star catcher. He had a WAR of 29.8. He was a right-handed thrower and batter, and had a batting average, lifetime batting average of 281. He accumulated 1,692 hits and swatted an awesome 28 home runs. 28 home runs. And so it would seem that Mr. Rick Ferrell was a catcher and must have been a great defensive catcher. And to let you know how good Mr. Rick Ferrell was, while he was playing for the Washington Senators, he had a 4-pitcher staff, and all 4 pitchers on the staff were knuckleball throwers, and darn good ones. And so Mr. Rick Ferrell had his proverbial glove full with the staff that he had. And again, I did a little reading up on him, and it said it didn't matter what Rick Ferrell's bat would do, he would get elected into the Hall of Fame purely for his defensive skills behind the plate. And so there you have it. That's our oldest Red Sox Hall of Famer. And coming up next, right behind him, and again, I'd say oldest, this gentleman started in the league at the exact same time. We have this really cool 1961 Fleer, Lefty Grove, autographed, authenticated. Down there you can see the autograph in blue ink on the card. Beautiful card. Has one little dimple on it. I don't know if I can even get it to where you can see it. But in his right eye, you'll see a little bit of a cut and dimple in the card. Other than that, for this age card, pretty good card. And of course, this was sent in to authenticate the signature on it and did not grade anything. So there you have it. Lefty Grove, 1934 to 1941, he was with the Red Sox, had a 17-year major league career. As a pitcher, was voted MVP 1 time, 6-time All-Star. Left-handed pitcher, had a WAR of 106.1, 300-game winner, 54 saves, accumulated 2,266 strikeouts during his career. And just a little bit about Lefty, it's kind of interesting. He started playing in the majors at 25 years old because the first 5 years, from 20 to 25, he was actually playing for the Baltimore Orioles, who were not affiliated with any major league team, so his stats during that 5-year period did not count. He accumulated a record of 108 and 36 with the Orioles, and none of those wins went towards his 300 wins that he had in the big leagues. As a rookie, Lefty Grove, on July 4th, his rookie year, 1934, was at Yankee Stadium, where he was pitted against another Hall of Famer, Herb Pencock, and they pitched themselves a 0-0 tie, which went 15 innings. 15 innings before the Evil Empire, New York Yankees, finally squeezed across a run. And again, Lefty lost that game, but both starting pitchers went 15 innings. When would that ever happen anymore? 15 innings, complete games, both pitchers. And so there you have it, a little history lesson with Lefty Grove. Certainly a very, very deserving Hall of Famer. Very deserving Hall of Famer. The next up on my list is Mr. Bobby Doerr. I have this really wonderful relic. We got a nice little piece of old school material. We got a piece of bat on here, and we got a sticker auto of Mr. Bobby Doerr. And Mr. Bobby Doerr played for the Red Sox from 1937 to 1944. And he also took a little hiatus for 1 year, came back from 46 to 51. You guys can figure out why he wasn't there that 1 year. Played 14 years in the major leagues, did not get voted MVP anytime. He had 9 times selected All-Star, played second base. He had a 51.2 WAR, batted right, threw right. He had a 288 lifetime average. He had 2,042 hits in his career and amassed 223 home runs. Bobby Doerr. Bobby Doerr. Next up on our list is the great Carl Yastrzemski. Carl Yastrzemski played for the Red Sox his whole career, 1961 to 1983. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. I was born in 62. Yaz came into the league in 61, played all the way to 83. Remember seeing him playing over and over again. He had a 23-year major league career, got voted MVP 1 time, 18-time All-Star, left fielder, had a WAR of 96.4, batted threw right, batted left, left-handed bat in Fenway Park, had a lifetime average of 285. He had amassed 3,419 hits and 452 home runs. The great Yaz. Next up on my list, underneath the great Yaz, is, I just picked this card up. If you watch my San Antonio video, this is a beautiful, beautiful Carlton Fisk and a 1, number 1 up. So Carlton Fisk. Carlton Fisk played for the Boston Red Sox 1969 and then came back from 1971 to 1980. He had a 24-year major league career, was never voted the MVP, was 11-time All-Star catcher, of course, 68.5 WAR, batted and threw right, had a lifetime average of 269, amassed 2,356 hits and 376 home runs. And the greatest memory of Carlton Fisk was a certain World Series game where he swatted a ball down that left field line, and he's seen going down there trying to wave the ball fair as it goes down the line. And of course the ball did go fair, and we have the exuberant celebration in Game 6, only to lose Game 7 and not win another World Series. And our suffering went on after that. And so there you have it. And next up on the list is Mr. Luis Aparicio. And we have another caught autograph from Leaf Sports of Luis. And Luis was an 18-year veteran of the big leagues. He played for the Red Sox from 1971 to 1973. He was Rookie of the Year. He was a 10-time All-Star. Played shortstop, had a 55.8 WAR, batted and threw right, had a lifetime average of 262, had 2,677 hits in his career, and a whopping total of 83 home runs. There you have it, Mr. Aparicio. And coming in next, after Mr. Aparicio, the man, the machine, Mr. Jim Rice. We got this nice relic auto card of Rice. And I got a bunch of autographs of Mr. Rice. I picked this one out because it had some relics and stuff on it. But Mr. Jim Rice played for the Red Sox from 1974 to 1989. 16-year career, MVP 1 time, All-Star 8 times. Played left field and DH, had a WAR of 47.4. Batted right-handed, had a 289 lifetime average, 2,452 hits, and 382 big flies for Mr. Jim Rice. Mr. Jim Rice. Next up on the list for the ink is Mr. Ferguson Jenkins. And Mr. Ferguson Jenkins, his ink I have is on this beautifully signed baseball. Got the old Hall of Fame on there, 91. And Fergie Jenkins played for the Red Sox in 1976 and 1977. Had a 19-year major league career, was never voted MVP, but was voted Cy Young one time, 3-time All-Star pitcher, 84.4 WAR, right-handed pitcher, had 284 wins in his career, had 7 saves, and amassed 3,192 strikeouts. So in the 3,000 strikeout clubs, Mr. Ferguson Jenkins. Fergie Jenkins. And next up on the Beantown Hall of Fame Ink collection is Mr. Dennis Eckersley. And I have Eckersley on this nice ball signed Hall of Fame 2004. Dennis Eckersley played for the Red Sox from 1978 to 84 and then came back in 1998. Mr. Eckersley played for 25 years. He had 1 MVP, 1 Cy Young, and was selected as an All-Star 6 times. Had a 62.4 WAR, right-handed pitcher, 193 wins, 390 saves, so he's in the 300 save club, and 2,401 strikeouts during Mr. Eckersley's career. Beautiful autograph. He's got a lot of things going on. I love Mr. Eckersley's autograph. And so there you go, Dennis Eckersley. And the last autograph I have sitting here, and one of the newest, not the newest, but one of the newest for the Boston Red Sox, is this really cool Pedro Martinez, and it's kind of hard. I'm going to tilt it, and there you go. You got this 2004 card of Pedro with the silver ink and the clear see-through version of this card, and this is an awesome, awesome card. Mr. Pedro Martinez pitched for the Red Sox from 1998 to 2004. I had an 18-year career, was an All-Star 8 times, Cy Young winner 3 times, 3-time Cy Young winner. Pitcher, of course, had an 84 WAR, right-handed. He had 219 wins in his career. He had 3 saves. He amassed 3,154 strikeouts. So, again, another 3,000 strikeout guy. The great Pedro Martinez. Love Pedro. Love Pedro. And that brings us to our one package mail day that we will be opening up the newest member to the Beantown collection. I have a couple autographs, but I do not have an autograph card, and so here it is. We just picked this up. This 1958 Topps Ted Williams Slugger Supreme, boom, autograph with a 9 on the autograph, a 3 on the vintage card, and the great Ted Williams, the splinter and Ted Williams' career. Man, we could just do a lot of stuff, but he played for the Red Sox from 1939 to 1942. As you know, he left Major League Baseball and went and served his country in World War II for 3 years. He missed 3 years in the prime of his career. Came back from 1946 to 1960. Had a 19-year career. Was twice the MVP. Was at least once robbed of being the MVP, but that's another whole video. He was an All-Star 17 years, all but 2 years of his playing career. He was an All-Star. Of course, he was a right fielder. Had a WAR of 123.1. Right-handed thrower, batted left-handed. Had a 344 lifetime batting average. He amassed 2,654 hits, and he swatted 521 home runs. He is the major league leader in on-base percentage with a lifetime 488 on-base percentage. The great Ted Williams, and Beantown is absolutely jazzed to add this card to our collection. Just ridiculously jazzed to get it. Again, I feel like I got it at a great value, especially after I went to the San Antonio Club card show. When I went to the San Antonio card show, I was looking at a 58 Williams, and the gentleman wanted almost $400 for it. It was in pretty good condition, probably a little better than this one, but it didn't have an autograph, and I paid substantially less for this card. So again, we're just jazzed to have that. We hope you liked our video. We're going to get out of here. We just wanted to show you that new piece of our collection and give you a heads up on where we're at. We've got a lot to go, but Beantown has 3 more Hall of Famers coming in next week. One of them we are absolutely super stoked to get. He is the oldest Hall of Famer on the list for the Boston Red Sox and had played back in 1901. And Beantown, Scores Inc. I've been looking for this man's autograph and finally found something that popped up, and we scored some value with it. So that will be coming up in a later video, which will be next week. Next week, that and 2 other Hall of Fame cards are coming in, and we'll go over those. And again, we appreciate everybody watching our video. If you like the video, hit that like button. Be a subscriber if you're not a subscriber. Again, we are out of here. Thanks for watching. Later, dude.